truncated.
Truncated.
He
Top
went to the
of-
bottom and she ended up dying.
Really?
56-year-old grandmother of 3 or something.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
scalded her to death.
Could have.
Yeah.
It wasn't deep enough for that one.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying.
We did that
Somebody
on a
hit
fire
it.
call one night. We went out and got out at CC, I think it's Carbide Industries. And TC, Terry Culver, got out of the fire truck. And we were responding, where's TC?
Okay.
We listened, and we could hear him screaming.
Right on.
Bottom of the hole. They had a hole like that on the side out there.
Well. But where did where was it at, you said?
Got us.
Manhattan.
Oh.
All right, it is now 4:30. 4:31. The Calvert City Water and Sewer meeting, I'll call to order for May 21st of 26. We're a little due to various activities going on, we're a little short of people right now, but we've got a quorum, so we will have the meeting. So we'll start with approval of the minutes of the April 16th, 26 regular meeting. So if you haven't looked at the minutes, take a minute and look at them. And all right, I hear a motion.
So moved.
All right,
Second.
Steve, Bill, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by like sign. So the financial report, you got a nice new report off the new system. It's fancy.
Anson, yes.
Yeah, so
Do that for a minute.
I'll let you study the fancy part later. I'm gonna jump.
Okay, you wanna move to the details?
Over to the details.
All right.
If I can find it myself.
It puts the total at the top. So,
Mhm.
you know, I'm used to the total being at the bottom, but they put. And then it lists all the expenses under that. And expenses are first. So budget, you know, is the budget amount, the expended, and then the balance.
Okay.
So,
A little while on those office supplies, it looks back there on the next page.
Yeah, there's gonna be some crazy numbers because we've actually moved things into different categories now, so
Yeah,
we're trying to see what we got.
Yeah, good.
been working on that. Bobby and John and them have been working on getting things.
Yeah.
Looking better where we're
Put things where they go,
It's going.
going, where it goes and what it is.
what it is.
Like we couldn't find
Awesome.
chemicals, for example.
The mayor's been meddling.
What?
Yeah.
So I think this will be a good report, and we get all of it lined out. It'll be a good.
Is this
report.
off the new software or something?
Yes.
Great.
Was Glenda's dream come true?
Mm.
Think I will love it once I get used to it.
Mhm.
So
The nightmare will turn into a dream.
It will.
because you won't be able to find something, I know. I'm dreading going to one too.
Yeah, right now we just all search.
No.
They pulled all of our water and sewer data yesterday and today, and so we're going live with that.
How much did they pull over?
They pulled everything
Everything from the other system?
from water and sewer. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Good.
That's our last module. And property tax, sorry.
I think, so the historical data from.
Yeah.
Time was mapped over in its entirety, what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Now they're still reviewing it before we go live. So, because John called me right at 4:00 and he had some questions and I was like, call me in the morning.
So I know we had big discussions about, looking at rates and things, and one of the things was depreciation. And so where is depreciation on here for like sewer versus water?
It's down, it's, well, on page 3 is the city portion, I mean, the water portion,
Okay.
down there toward the bottom.
First from the bottom.
Okay,
290 budgeted,
I just amortize that each month.
280.
And then,
233.
yeah, then page 5 is the sewer portion.
okay. And that was one of the key things, right? We just decided what happens is
Yeah, I
we have these
think-
big capital blowout projects. Are we bringing in enough that when we do have these capital blowout projects, do we have any built up?
Right, if we
Versus-
expense that much, yeah. Then the last page or the
I mean,
last,
and every 2 years, we have $1 million, you know, in some sense, we've set aside $1 million for that, right?
Not really set aside money.
Good,
That's
so-
what we're talking about. It's
yeah, tell me,
paper-
Mr.
it's paper-
Accountant.
It's paper numbers. That's what it is.
Yeah,
And you're taking and you're writing that down.
it's paper numbers. But we've made revenue. If we're trying to balance our budget,
Right.
where does that revenue money go? It's not spent,
No,
because it's depreciation,
it's still in the revenue. It's not,
right? So I'm just saying, if you know, some expenses are actual expenses. You buy a truck, you pay employees and stuff like that. But depreciation expense,
you buy a truck. And then you set the truck up on a 5-year depreciation. And you
Well,
write off 10,000
I
a
was
year for
thinking-
5 years for a $50,000
Yeah.
truck.
okay. Okay,
And that's in your depreciation.
okay. The money is spent before,
The
Mhm.
money
Depreciation.
spent before depreciation.
got it,
So,
okay. I see how that works.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And in the business world,
Yes,
you have
Okay,
a
yeah.
profit before
Right.
depreciation, and then you have depreciation, and then you
That's
have
what my answer is.
bottom line,
the bottom line.
where you're recovering your depreciation. So the city is slightly different than that, but it's still basic same principle here that we're dealing with.
It's not a concept I've really understood very well. You know, I took some accounting way back when in college stuff. But it's not one that really got in there very well.
Well, if you pay taxes when you depreciate it out, if you sell that truck at some point,
Yeah,
they're gonna tax you on that amount you get for that truck.
okay,
Because you depreciated it out off
And
your
took the
taxes.
expense off your
Yeah.
taxes, yeah.
okay.
I guess we sell property here at some point, don't we? When we get rid of, when it worn out.
Yeah, we get it. Has been some money in this year's budget where
We sell.
Bobby sold.
It is, it's
truck.
under miscellaneous revenue where we
Miscellaneous
did
revenue.
This- oh,
with
okay.
gov deals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Deals,
what's
yeah.
in there.
With that.
And then we were working on the budget and I looked that up because I was like, yeah, we're not budgeting anything there. That was just we sold those trucks and the golf cart and some stuff.
So on the financials, as we looked at them, I think, we can study these a little bit more between now and the meeting, have any questions, but I think that, you know, they're right on track with where we were. It's just
Mhm.
sorted a little different. We need to get used to that, but it's, we're still holding our own as far as,
Where are we? So we're almost through this fiscal year, yeah.
We are.
And so I can look into total expenses, water, we've expended 1,300, so 1.3 million. And we have revenue of 2 million. That's water. So there's 700,000 difference. What about sewer? Sewer, we've actually expended 813 and made revenue of 1,028,000. So that's a difference of what? Almost 200,000. So in some sense, we're ahead, at least on paper, $1 million this year, right? but I know payments and how you pay things gets in there.
Well, but a lot of that this year is that grant money because I have put that in revenue.
Yeah, and that revenue was under sewer.
So
Is that what I saw?
it's at both
Okay.
and we really need,
Split between
we
them, or
need,
is it-
no, some of it was whatever project, the 339,860
Yeah.
was actually those ARPA funds that I put in there to
Uh-huh.
cover that, it was to cover the sewer, the liners,
Right.
Okay,
cost of the liners.
yeah, so I hear you. You're
So put
saying.
that
if
money
we
in
had-
there, but we spent it, you know, it was a
So that's
wash.
750, yeah.
And
okay,
then,
Okay. Just trying to, have a sense where we are.
right,
Are we really hurting? When Jim gave us a big rate study, are we in trouble? That doesn't sound like it. Just, but we gotta watch it. And we gotta be ready to
Well-
take care of the sewer side, especially since
Yeah.
the
I think the water
projects.
and sewer, we need to make sure that we're staying not necessarily big in the red, in the green, but I mean, we gotta stay above. We don't wanna get in a hole where it's not paying for itself.
Yeah, together they
Because
seem to be.
it's a crucial asset to the city
Right.
and to the people of the city to have that service. And
Right.
if it fails, it becomes a nightmare, which we have seen in other surrounding counties around us that have not been.
Well, I like what Steve said last time about let's get back to that 5-year plan, 10-year plan, because that gives you a sense of, do we have enough money to do what we need to do so he can do his job without having to react all the time? He can be proactive and get his work done and be thinking about those 5-year ahead things and how we're going to do it. And then we'll have more sense of, do we have enough money to do that, to do his work every day and address what's coming up. So, yeah, I just hope we can really make that a part of our priorities, is to work
Yeah,
back
we gotta
towards that.
replace the equipment as we go along, or make sure that we can replace it and repair it as it goes
Yeah.
along, because. There's certain items in there that we don't know when a sewer pump out here in the line is gonna go out.
Yeah, we have a
Okay.
history though, right? And so, I mean, in a sense, you could plan for it in some. sense.
Well, maybe. I don't know how good our history is. I've been up with that kind of things, because some of them just blow when lightning strikes.
Yes. And then my point is, how many times has it happened in the last 5 years? How many every times it's happened, let's plan that for part of the 5-year plan. We're gonna probably have to have at least 4 pumps or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like this year, I've already planned for replacing at least 2. I mean, and we have spares. I've got some spares.
Yeah.
So as far as planning goes, you know your normal routine maintenance costs.
Yes.
And we can go ahead and back even more years, to try to level that flow out.
Right.
So past experience doesn't necessarily predict future performance.
Good point.
And that's why the 5-year plan is. So when you know that you got one of those big projects coming along, plan for it appropriately.
Right.
But we had a big project that we didn't plan for, that thrust its head this year, was the replacement of that supply line to the plant underneath the swamp.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, the fertile lowland.
Yeah.
But, those things pop up. 5-year planning.
Well, I mean, personally,
Hang on a
Okay.
minute. 5-year planning, we replaced the liner. We got completely empty cells.
Mhm.
We've replaced that headworks thing. That was a big project. It took a lot of planning and putting together funds to get that done. Okay. The rework of the control system. Into now it's operating like it was originally designed. So that's standing pretty tall. So a lot of the 5-year plan has been done. The next ones, the chunks that we have that we know is the filter system.
Okay.
And the rebuild of that. So there's some valve issues in there that we've taken care of.
Well, there still need to be some.
Yeah.
In the filter,
And then replace the media.
it's done.
So things are moving along, and then there's ongoing projects.
Okay.
Some of which we're gonna talk about tonight that are gonna be funded by other sources than revenue off the department.
God bless them, everyone.
Well, I mean,
Resource.
Yeah, but it's also expanding the system. And to the 5 year plan, it's gonna change your position. If you're looking back at your maintenance history experience for the last 3 years, now you've just had an expansion out here that's bright, shiny and new. Okay,
Yes,
so it's not even gonna register on your maintenance stuff for a while. And then suddenly, if things start going bad on it, it'll show up as a kind of a blip. So that's
yes.
why you gotta have those 5 year plans and say, hey, I just added, I'm making up stuff now. If you add something like three.
No,
sections, gotta
exactly.
be
I mean,
prepared.
we're adding things. And so, yeah, to me, we definitely gotta consider that in your whole budget is the system's getting bigger.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in
know,
the past 3 or 4 years, we've extended 3 different sections. I mean, it's growing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. And it was grant money.
And as
Yeah,
I've
I'm
said to
saying,
you,
but still, our system is growing.
as I've said to you before,
Yeah.
you gotta look at the personnel for what the system becomes.
Oh, of course.
Is our staff set up for what it needs to be
Mhm.
and do, so.
And you know, the lagoon project cost us a lot more than
Yes,
what,
yes.
Yep.
What we
what
planned.
we were reimbursed for.
So,
And we cash flowed that.
and that, all that to me says that we're in good shape because we can do that. We seem to be able to find the grants at key times. Sometimes they just show up, it's like, what is it, Park Place on Monopoly? Sometimes
Mhm.
good things happen to you and sometimes bad things happen to you, but just, yeah, as we move forward, as things change. Are we ready? And, seems like we are so far, but on a personal level, like, having an emergency fund for that parts, Gene, you said that you didn't know that was gonna happen, so do we have apparently we do. If we've been cash flowing it, we've got enough of a fund, enough in our coffers to take care of some of those things we didn't suspect were gonna happen.
And we end up borrowing money sometimes.
We did.
On the big project.
We had to,
I
we
do
had to
too.
pull it out of the,
You know?
we had to pull it out of the infrastructure to cover that cost. We were not able to cash flow.
Yeah.
The lagoon project.
And as long as our loans don't get out of hand, I'm good with that too, but I just like to keep them low. I just like,
We've, we've maintained our cash in the bank level.
Yeah.
At $1 million.
yes,
And we've been up and down on that.
we have, as long as I've been here.
Consistently, but it's still,
Got down to 600,000. It's been up to 1 point whatever for,
well,
but-
it's looking like it's about, right at now, it was 1,260,000, I think.
that's a good emergency fund,
And,
but I know it's not all cash, but
So,
where is that on here? You got that on here today?
it's on the second.
On this sheet.
On the second one. Okay, I see it up there. Thank you.
Trial balance.
What's tough,
Yeah.
trial balance.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not saying everybody here is not doing a great job. I'm just wanting us to keep thinking about the future and
Well, we've
just
always
try
got-
to make this guy's job.
Yeah, and we moved, I think, we started years ago talking about being more proactive in our preventative maintenance, and I think that we achieved a lot of that.
well, some of the expenditures we've had since I've been on board was because in years past, and I'm not being critical of anybody who was operating, maybe they didn't have the funds or whatever, but the lagoons
Right.
just sit there and sit there and sit there. They
Yes.
didn't-
That's right.
And then we
We had to deal with it.
deal with it,
Yeah.
and we don't want that to happen
Yeah.
going forward. So
Yeah.
we need a
Right.
plan to.
Yeah. And
clean
so
this-
you've got to voice it. I mean, if you see something like said, like got a shiny and new stuff, but what old stuff are you worried about? Bring that in here. Tell us about it, so we can
And we need to get
support you.
those put together. I've been thinking of things that we need to do, and Bobby's thinking of things that he needs to do, and
I guess the main thing, we bring the village, Canucky Down Village online. What is our lagoon capacity? And
It will-
how does that
It'll-
change that,
I mean, we got plenty.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
We've got a,
Unless the park starts bringing in, filling up 100%. It just, it has conferences that bring in a lot of people, tournaments, little things happen on weekends, but it's just not full all the time, the
Right.
capacity. there is.
Rivercrest has got capacity data, nameplate capacity data, and where we're at and what it,
Mm.
so as we evaluate potential customers, especially that one, they're looking at the anticipated capacity, and we have enough room to do that. The dam, the state park has been working on a lot of issues in their infrastructure for a while, and so
Yes,
we got flow data. from
Mhm.
them. And that's what we're now talking to them. And that's later in the agenda. I don't want to jump ahead of you.
That's-
Right. Yep.
Well, one other comment is, when I worked, on the CAT board and we looked with the plants were asked by OSHA or FEMA to look at worst case scenarios and go over them, you know, and how are you going to deal with this if this fails and that fails? I'm not sure we need to do that, but I'm also thinking on the other side, the positive side, now that we have Marshall Yards and you have a lot of digging going on out there in that area, what if that all develops would be one scenario we ought to think about, you know, and back to capacity issues. Are we doing good? What if we do have
Well, that's
three
part of what-
hotels?
That's
two
part of what
restaurants.
Chad has been planning for us and
He's
he's
addressing it.
looking at that.
I've given them
relation
the
to that.
directive to take a look at scenarios that include
Good.
2 hotels, the water supply and the anticipated sewer load.
Yep.
And that's being used.
Great. Thank
Plan
you.
infrastructure.
Thank you, Mayor.
Well, I mean, that's, I mean,
Well,
that's just-
they're
Yeah.
cleaning property up out there. And so they don't usually invest money in cleaning property up. If they're not gonna do something down the old Holiday Inn area,
Yeah, the old par 3 down there, they cleared all that out.
yeah.
So you're on top of it. Appreciate it.
So.
I don't know. On top of it's really, depend. I mean, private development's happening. There's people moving dirt in areas and people developing exits and
Yes.
trying to bring new things in front of the planning and zoning and in front of the Board of Adjustments
Good.
and all that. So the hotel has changed ownership. The old, what was the Inn by the Lake was the Ramada, was the Holiday Inn. Up on top
Yes.
of the hill has changed ownership.
Really?
Yeah, and so they're looking at refurbing that and bringing that back online.
Was that a Holiday Inn originally? Is that what it was?
Originally it was
It
Holiday. Inn.
was.
Yeah.
I
I
lived
remember
right
the
down the
Ramada
hill
board.
from it. I was probably
Had some
5
pool
years
parties.
old, something like that, when they built that place. It was Ashland Station there. My dad ran that.
Did he?
Station. Yeah. Yeah,
Do you live down there amongst the Kentucky Fried Chicken and where
Yeah.
Big Mac is in
yeah,
that area?
yeah,
Okay.
right there where the barbecue place was the old station.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that they just had 2
I
bays.
remember being one stop and who was the fella that owned it at that time? It was,
I don't know. It was Ashland
Yeah.
back when he ran it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that was managed with Kinsey out of Benton. You know, the Kinsey family. So
Carl.
it's the dad, Paul Kinsey, is
Okay.
he had the dealership on Ashland.
so,
Okay.
things moving all the time.
Yep. Thank you.
So moving on, we've already kind of mentioned it, but the remaining cleaner water grant funds for Little Rock and Atlanta. We now have, that's in the process. The bid came back and we can do all of that
Oh, really?
without borrowing money or without going into any other funds or anything. So the bid covers all of that and Chad and them are working on getting that going. And hopefully you said it had to be done by November. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So that will get all of that area up there with water. And so, I'll say all that area, I mean, not all of it, but
Yeah, all the way
What
down-
we were
all-
planning on.
All Little Rock and Atlanta.
Yeah.
Great.
so we'll see about that. So that's good. Other active projects, those don't blank here all of a sudden. Water, I don't think there's any more current active projects.
Yeah, we're in the process of the one going on Oak Park still.
Oak Park, okay,
We're still gonna do that.
yeah, okay. And
Is the mega mill still, is that still on, or has anything changed?
They, as far as I know, I think they moved the location for it.
Out to the speedway?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're moving a lot of hill out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they put the project as proposed to, I guess they went to the Board of Adjustments and
Yeah.
put us into a mode of having to approve the work that they were gonna do and the plans, and that would approval with Greenlight, then starting that project that they went to that board with, that's on hold, indefinite hold. And then there's some other things going on where they hopefully will expand in the city limits at some other locations that you mentioned. And there's still a lot of things to consider on that site development. So their engineers working on it. They're asking us questions. We're answering those questions, and so they're trying to put together all the concerns on doing that project. Very happy. Mega Mills is really turned into quite the enterprise, and hope that they do get relocated and we retain them within the city limits as a good business, great guys, and it's organically growing. I think they've really got a tiger by the tail in that business enterprise, and that's good news for everybody. And but the question that you didn't have, so we were in the process of greenlighting there, and that would have given them the green light to proceed. And in the meantime, they're going with an alternative location. So they're still doing site development and all that. I don't think it's all completely settled yet. But again, we got people developing. That's great.
Yep. Okay. So seemed like there was one other one, but I can't remember what it was right now. So anyway, didn't write it down. I'm sorry. The on the rates study, let me jump over that and jump down to future projects. On the Kentucky Dam Village Sewer Project, we did get a document from the state spelling out what they would like to do and what they would like us to do, which is going to be a legal document that we will operate off of, the city will operate off of. And we just got our hands on that this week. And so Ashley and everybody will be reviewing that. And
So there was a good bullet list of concerns and things that we'd like to see built into the contract, and the state has a boilerplate they sit down. So it's just beginning of the crafting of the document that will be the one that governs the agreement.
Right. Yeah, so it's still rolling and all, but it's, you know how it is. It's step by step by step. It takes time to get some of those things done, but that is going on. And then I do want to say one thing, which is kind of not on the agenda, but for your guys' information, Bobby and his crew was just right down the street from me there on the corner of 7th and Hickory, working on a leak. And so I walked down there to observe, see what's going on. And I was really, really pleased that the crew that Bobby had, they didn't mind getting muddy. They were supporting each other. I need this socket. I need this wrench. I need this. I'm in here. Maybe you should do this. I mean, you know, they were working together. And so I think we've got seem like a real good group of guys that are handling the water and
Well, I think so,
sewer
too.
area.
Everybody's in what I don't mean to go off.
That's right. Yeah.
But everybody enjoys coming to work.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing to me. I'm glad everybody's like that.
And the newest guy hired was in the bottom of the hole. And he was but he was in the bottom and he was up on the
Right.
top, right, operating the
He's
The
been in the hole
backhoe
twice
and-
and he's been here 3 days.
So,
But it's good. I knew he could do it.
Yeah,
He's gonna
so
be a good hand.
I think it needs to be known that we got a good crew of guys out there.
I think they are too.
And they were supporting each other
That's
in
good.
this.
Morale is really important.
Yeah, so
And we even had a track come off the excavator and everybody.
everybody
helped
pitched
put it
in,
on.
That's good.
worked on that as well.
So the new hire, Ezra,
Mhm.
yeah, he's a return He had been with us before.
That name does
I
sound
didn't know, I
familiar.
didn't know it was
Was
that.
he here with Silas?
And he's back.
That's right.
Yeah,
He's
he did,
back with us.
he did a
He
great
was here with
job
Roger.
before.
He was here with
Roger
Roger. He was here in
the-
2020.
Yeah,
Wow.
He was here for 2 years, 2020 to 2022.
Roger put him in what?
But I haven't back.
What was the program?
it was kind of like,
An
a-
operator training or something.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like an apprenticeship.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Where you had to have a mentor and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what he was in. They started all that and Roger put him in that.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and they stopped having all their meetings. Right? Is that true? That's
Yeah.
true.
So what
That
happened?
messed up a
Yeah.
lot of stuff, yeah.
But no, it was just fun to watch, you know, I mean, I didn't know what they was doing, but they did. Or at least they buffaloed me anyway.
We got her fixed.
Yeah, so, okay. Any other projects list for water and sewer that we know is going on, Bobby? Anything you got happening other than the ones we've talked about right now? I know you're wanting to do some with, you still working on the sewer with the aerators and all of that.
Yeah, I'm still piecing together all four of them. I mean, the lagoons are working perfect. I mean, it's almost like you could drink that.
When
water.
did you get effluent again?
Let's not go that far.
I've tested, it was probably, this is May,
So how long was the break?
April. How long did we not have it?
Yeah.
We stopped in, dang. 10 months ago.
So when we replace the liners and you get them emptied and you put them back in, then we've been in a pretty big drought this spring. And that effluent stopped happening as it filled up those lagoons. And so the treatment time on that water was prolonged.
Yeah.
So it's
And,
pristine water, you're saying?
Yes, they're working good right now. As soon as I gotta get a couple more aerators in and some blowers, and we'll be all set.
Good.
Well, I hope I live to see Barry Travis's idea about using that treated wastewater
For cooling,
for cooling or some kind of industrial project, because I tell you, boy, it will put you on the map.
Okay, on the rate analysis, Linda gave me some information on 2-inch, 3-inch, and 4-inch water meters by a customer and by volumes of water by year. On the 4-inch meters, which are all industry basically driven, in the year March 24 through February 25, they consumed 197,156. I'm sorry, but my numbers are all running together here. It's 196,156,030 million gallons. 196 million, 197 for $752,000. And then in 25 to 26, it was almost exactly the same gallons, maybe about 700,000 more gallons. And the revenue from that was $789,957. So they are big users in their industries. The 3-inch meters was 135,550,450 gallons in 24 to 25 for 551,000, and almost again the same for 25 to 26, a little bit less, 133,285,847 for $498,694.
How much again? $498,000.
$198,694.
Second, you're saying the second year, what was the amount of money the first year?
550,741. So with those two meter sets and for the 2 years of operation was $2,542 in dollars comes in from those plants. I was working on it today, trying to determine the rates, and I think my thinking right now, and I'm gonna try to get a little deeper into it and figure it out, is that we're hurting ourselves in these two areas and maybe even the 2-inch meter area with the way we bill by discounting to the lower rates. But you get the first 2,000 gallons is set. 400 is so much money. And then the next 5,000 gallons is set. And then anything over 7,000 gallons is all at the same.
That's monthly
Same
too,
rate,
right?
huh?
You're saying monthly, 2,000, 5,000,
Yeah.
7,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is where, for me, you could differentiate this from residents. No residents ever using those kind of numbers. And so if we're using the same three cutoffs, 2, 5, and 7 for the industry that we are, that's got a fire hose going out there versus residents, that to me is one of the places where, yeah, that's just not right in terms of how you're pulling in your revenue. And again, like I say, you're studying it, so I want you to come up with it, Dan, on the accounting side. But the idea that the total amount of theirs, the cost to us, if it's cheaper than the revenue we're getting, that's nuts. You know, that that shouldn't
Yeah.
be. That's just, should be at least even, you know,
It should be profitable.
it should be.
And not.
It costs us to help make sure they get it on a reliable, regular basis. Yes, it should be
It's
profitable.
more
So we,
expensive to maintain and repair because it's bigger lines. So it has a higher cost.
certainly the size of the lines have higher costs.
And it takes more pumping, more power, more to pump that much
That was what they were on the pumps.
in the lines and all of that.
And these are all things you're saying that need to go in that letter. If we come up with something here and it does change so that it does cost them more. These are the things I think we need to do to justify it.
Yeah.
To say, we're trying to address our expenses in our future, trying to maintain this system so it continues to be reliable for you. And so I think that's one good approach. What you're talking about is to look at changing 2, 5, and 7. That would definitely generate us some more revenue. 2, I assume is their most expensive, up to 2,000. 2 to 5 is a little cheaper, and then after 7, is that what you're saying?
The first 2,000 gallons is a set rate,
Sure.
and for a 4-inch meter, it's today's rate, January 26, it's $304 for the first 2,000 gallons.
Did you say $204?
304.
304, I got it.
The first 2,000.
Yeah. The next 5,000 gallons
Okay, 2 up to 7.
is charged at a rate of $3.73.
$3.70 times 5,000.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit more for sure.
So anything over that 7,000 gallons then has another rate set at $3.51 currently
For everything over 7,000.
for everything over 7,000.
And then we could break it down. I mean, different months, I'm sure they use different amounts, right? You have certain periods where you're
Yeah.
using big
They're-
water.
Well,
they're-
so
Some of these were pretty,
Glenda's been doing some data mining.
Yeah.
She's got data for every single customer with meters and the sizes.
Right.
So when we come up with proposals, we can run the scenario and see how each individual
Yeah, how they're affected.
Right.
is affected and where it winds up
Right.
on increases. And the rate structure is something that Dan and I have been meaning to get together for probably 2 weeks now, since that data has become available, and we need to finish that off.
Yeah.
So we've got the schedule of services for charges, and then whatever this comes out wise, that we're gonna make recommendations for.
right. Yeah, I'm not recommending anything tonight, but that's kind of where I'm leaning.
Yeah.
It's just that,
I would just suggest, it's a suggestion that when we get to that point, whatever we submit to the council, submit it in writing.
Oh,
And,
Yes.
and if we have then, and if we need to include what the extra is gonna be used for. And if it's gonna be used for maintenance or line, I think you need a good explanation there. Now, I've even got some big kickback on raising it with industry that don't think we don't raise it on residential, we shouldn't raise it on the industry. But the industry is a profitable thing. They make money on it. And you certainly can, I think our cost based on that rate study was it not 374 a gallon or something like that? I mean, 1,000 gallons at our base rate?
What our cost per
Yeah.
gallon.
Yeah,
Something Dan had come up with. You
Yeah.
can ask him, but
Yeah.
he had it on a document for it.
yeah,
But it was something. Which, again, I'm okay with that. It's just how it comes out overall.
yeah.
Mhm.
Is that where we pulled it?
Out of the rate study, Mr. Morgan.
Yeah,
Okay, sound like we're going on the right path. So,
yeah,
The cost per thousand needs to be evaluated for those discounts to make sure we don't cross the line.
mm,
And that's what we're doing, is make sure that the discounts are still appropriate for where our costs are.
sure.
Yeah, I don't mind giving a discount, but
Oh,
it's
I
not
mean,
like,
sure, I
we
mean,
don't want to
sure.
we don't want water to be a loss leader.
There'll still be a discount. I mean, when you're using that much volume, you're
Yeah,
discounting, because
yeah.
once you have the infrastructure there, but we need to make sure that the actual discount doesn't go below actual cost.
Yes.
And
Yep.
make sure we're in the black, and not a lot in the black, but make sure it's in the black and absolutely not in the red. And that's just part of running a good business.
That's right.
And I don't think that's preferential treatment, because our residential customers don't get those level of discounts, because residential customers don't use that volume. of water.
Right.
So it's really not like, it's not like we're discounting.
If they use the water, then they would be charged for it. They just don't use the water. So it's
Well,
not,
and we want a strong industrial base, and we want to sell water to the industry, and we want to be a great supplier to them, because there's other options
Mhm.
for industry to get water.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure
particularly
that,
with the river right there.
well, yeah, I mean.
Some of them get water from.
They do.
Yes, some
go-
use that.
But
go-
then they have to treat it after they get it themselves.
Yeah, it's got a lot of sand and shells and other stuff in it, but working maintenance, I've had to plug that big cooler that sits out there. that
Yeah. So
Water cooler.
the goal is to be a great supplier.
Yeah,
Right.
In every way you can be a great supplier, with availability and reliability and rates that are competitive with alternatives.
yeah.
So,
So if we used 100, back to your first number, 197 million gallons over a fiscal year. Well, over a year, March 24th to February 25. So that's like 16 million gallons per month. If it worked out that that's what it was every month. Was that all industry out there, or that was the 4-inch line?
That's
Yeah, so
everybody that
that's
has
the-
a meter.
Everybody has a
Right,
4-inch
it's a
line
4-inch
now,
meter.
are using 16.
that's everybody has a 4-inch meter.
Wow. A lot of water.
How many of them were there? You know, the number.
7 or 8.
Yeah, I remember it was, yeah, it was very few.
Start thinking about, start thinking about crunching the data,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
but then you got eight people that have the data, so it becomes a little different than say, hey, I'm gonna get all these numbers together at 8. Well, there's 8 times 12 times how many years you're gonna look back.
Yes. Yes.
On these 3-inch meters, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Meters with 3-inch meters.
And then there's quite a few.
And then the 2-inch gets a little bit more.
Quite a few.
It's 2 pages.
I just see that volume as being a tool to say, you know, we're gonna differentiate based on the volume that you get.
We'll still make sure that the discount rates that we give for high volume make sense and.
Right.
And how we're operating.
Yep.
And listen to me, I say we get that we sell at.
Right.
Well,
We don't want to be giving. That's the point. We don't want to be giving.
I don't know that they get a discount or not, but one of the 2-inch meters is Calvert City Ballpark. So they use a lot of water.
The city pays whatever that is.
That's who we ought to charge, the city.
City Hall pays.
Now, I signed this pile of checks that I was signing.
Yeah.
As we multitasking, yeah, there's always a check from the city to the utilities. There's always a check from the utilities to the city. That has to do with keeping enterprise level economics. Enterprise level information going and our Mr. Miller gave us high marks for doing that. And we want to continue to do that.
Yeah. Keep the books, keep
And, You
everything.
know, the city is the city council and is willing to make sure that we have the monies to have a reliable water system, but you can't get too cattywampus. I mean, you really need to cover costs. People who use the utility, you don't need to get upside down and be giving something away for less than cost. It's just not very, no, and I hate to use the word. What's another word? I was gonna say sustainable, but that word has so many different meanings in our current vernacular,
Well-
but it's not something you can just keep on doing. And you're
Right.
Going further and further and further down.
Right.
On that. And so
Without it costing you somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can, as we've done at times, the city is,
You know, if we're talking some economic development.
Yeah.
Just throw it in there. We want to make sure we got a great system. If
Yes.
anybody's looking at coming down here, we gotta make sure we have a strong system with excess capacity and good rates. Okay,
we got a plan. There's your 5-year plan right there. Or that's the mission statement on top.
That was
Yeah.
$2,542,000, about a 3% increase in that rate is $76,260. On that, the total,
what was that number you said? The increase is right?
$2,542,000.
Uh-huh.
If you do it 3%, $76,260.
Well, we'll take a look.
So it just shows you how a little here and a little there. Reed Condor once told me, he said, never worry about your big money.
Yeah.
If you track your little money, your big money takes care of itself.
Hmm.
I never forgot that from that guy, And I found that to be very true in any area of life.
So I'll keep working on it with Linda and we'll see if we can come up with things. She's been busy and we've been all busy but that's kind of where we are and we are.
I'm very pleased with this new computer program so far.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
There's a lady
Did
that
you
works
do
in
complicated?
Edmonds that she does all these, sets them all up, and so it's a work in progress, because as I look at it, I'm like, I don't want, can you take that off? I don't want that on there. Can you change this to this? Can you do whatever? And she said, yeah, I'll get that. I'll do that for you.
Yeah.
So
Well, you'll find pretty quick, you don't know how you lived without it once you get it tweaked a little bit.
that's exactly how it is. Yep, once I get used to it,
Yeah.
it'll be nice.
We are also working on the budget for next year. Linda and John and Bobby, and them have been putting together, looking at numbers and, some of it while they're putting that is getting these count numbers set up, so we're getting the right information flowing into those accounts. And all, but, right now, Linda and I have looked at,
We looked at
Revenue
revenues
today.
yesterday, we discussed them. And
they're
Fine.
pretty close to the same as what we've been doing this year, we don't see any major increase. We're not considering any in budgeting impact from the dam yet because it's still on paper.
Yeah,
and,
well, yeah, so,
anything like that, we're not putting in the budget, so it comes through on before the budget year is up, it'll be a bonus. And Bobby and them looked at expenses, and Bobby's trying to get some things straightened around. Not that they were wrong, it's just
just
different
decided
way.
they wanted some things in different accounts.
Or we can say. So I know
Well,
where
they,
it's
they had just drifted off.
We kind of do that every year.
They
Yeah.
just drifted off some, so we lost the visibility where we really wanted to be. Bobby says, I'd like to go down and see how much I spent on this. And
Yes,
it's like,
that's
so
what I
we
want.
could dig that out. So
mhm,
do we want to dig it out every time, or we'll just worry with the categories, right?
mhm.
Right.
There you go. Yeah. Put it in a place where you can.
like
see it.
chemicals have been in there all along, but you wanna go see how much you're spending on chemicals, and some of them were getting mixed between.
Postage or something, yeah.
Sewer was not getting their chemicals, they were getting maybe in the water, or so there's,
Mhm.
just trying to clean it up,
That's good, that's good.
get a better look. So. Gene, you got anything?
Well, I'm trying to think about what we need to talk about on, the completion of the Headworks project. And, some of the outcome there, I don't know, would it be something we want to go to an executive session to discuss?
Well, we might, yeah, at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, there is a, potential lawsuit. And we don't, well, maybe we shouldn't go there because we don't have our attorney tonight.
Noticed.
To be able, I could read the paragraph, I could dig it out of my phone and read that paragraph. It's not that, it's just kind of an update on things you guys already know what's going on, so I think we would probably forego that. Her parents had a 50th anniversary today, and she'd rather do that than be with us.
Yeah.
I don't anyway. So,
We'll get it.
yeah, so we can delay that. It's-
We
it's-
did have a phone call this week with our attorney.
So we made a step forward on some stuff.
Okay.
To push it
Yeah.
because
And that's
it's
really
been
the important
sitting
part.
and-
It
And
is.
and we can say that in open session. so,
Yeah,
That's really all. we-
Yeah.
it'd be great, that can be settled without getting any more complicated and.
Yeah, so it's, you're operational. Totally functionally checked out, totally complete. All the funds have been expended. He's where he needs to be.
Is the thing that was rebuilt that we had, I don't know if that's what you're talking
Yeah.
about, by the sewers.
Yeah,
It has been rebuilt
Yeah.
and is in functional
Yeah, it's operational.
and it's operational.
It's quite the install.
It is.
And
We-
so the continuous bar screen? No, not bar screen. What do you call it?
Yeah, it is a screen.
Okay, but it's not a bar screen. The bar screen is fixed
Yeah,
one, but
yeah.
it is gonna keep the tennis shoes and everything else
Out of the lagoon.
out of lagoons.
mhm.
And now that they're nice and clean and been protected.
Right.
How did that come down that line?
Yeah, I know. We had a squirrel in it the other day.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that.
And it was skinny.
Yeah,
It was weird.
Well, we should mention in meeting, that we lost one of our citizens that we helped solve problems for. But fortunately, he had to go to Steely House and he's passed on, Sprout David.
oh, right, yeah.
102, we lost Sprout.
Yeah.
He means a lot to me because he and Dad ran around, so. it's one of Those guys.
Continue
lost.
Sarah Foreman.
So,
I never had the pleasure of working with him.
rest in peace, Sprout.
Okay.
You got, y'all done? You two covered everything
Think
on
so.
that? Okay, how about a motion?
Move, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Shut us off, Linda.